So as I said at the end of my first section on this diary piece, the next time you see me, you'll be joining me over at my syndicate water. I'm down here this evening. Unfortunately, I couldn't get into the swim that I really fancied on the main lake that I'm focusing my efforts on. Have been baiting it recently as well. Unfortunately, there's another angler in it, so you win some, you lose some. Had everything in the car packed and ready to do a session this evening anyway, so I've popped onto the Lagoon Lake, which is one of the other lakes on the complex. There's three here. There's this one, which is quite an open, really maturely, nicely landscaped, but left alone. So it's quite a natural looking lake with a few snags, a very shallow end that's full of weed at the moment, the fish absolutely love. And then the main body of the lake, which is a like sort of big piece of water, big round with bars and plateaus and gullies and all sorts of up and down on the bottom. The long lake, I've spotted a few fish there this week, so what I'm hoping to do is, the weather is due to be quite warm and sunny from early tomorrow morning. I've fully bought all the surface gear with me and some stalking rods, and I'm hopefully going to try and make it happen in the morning on their sort of close quarters or off the top. So I've got a barbecue on now, the sun's just going down, it's dipping over the tree line on the back. I'm going to get tucking in to my food before it burns to a crisp in the background, and hopefully get my head down for the night, and even more so hoping for a bite in the morning. Well, good morning. As you can probably see, I look like hell. I've had a terrible night's sleep last night, and unfortunately it's not down to catching fish. The mozzies were absolutely out in force last night. I tried sleeping on just the bed chair and with the brolly up, but either way, even tucked under the bed chair cover, just would not help. Either way would not help. So I've ended up sleeping in the car last night, just with the mattress from my bed chair, sleeping bag and the cover, just with the windows open, because after about the first 15 mosquito bites I couldn't handle it anymore, along with the hay fever that seems to be really bad in this area. It must be all the cut grass that's around here. Anyway, so it's now about 6:30 in the morning. I woke up to a take this morning, but like I said, it's not due to catching fish. It was a coot that managed to dive down 11 feet and pick up my hook bait, which is always handy. So first time actually sleeping in the back of the car and waking up to a take, it was melting off as well. It was clutch was ticking away, alarm was fully sounding. I hopped out the car, hit the boot button, run down to the rod, and when I got here I could see a coot flapping around on the surface, but it didn't manage to hook him. So luckily I didn't have that absolute onslaught of unhooking one and causing a load of disturbance this morning on the spot and in the swim. So I got away with that one really quite lightly. Since then, I've put the rod back out. All the coots have disappeared now, and I've just been sitting here watching the water. I've seen one fish show that's definitely a carp, mid water between me and the bank opposite. It was the biggest swell, and saw the aftermath of a carp crashing in. Nothing massive, but it's a good sign that they're in this sort of end of the lake, if you like. So other than that, not a lot to report, but what I am going to do is just finish this coffee, continue watching the water for a little bit longer, get my head down for another hour or so. It's only about 6:30, and and then when I wake about 7:30, 8 o'clock, if I haven't caught one by then, I'll be doing exactly what I said last night, and I'll be packing up, putting all the gear in the car and taking the surface gear over to the lake over the back, the long lake. See if I can't nick one on there before I go to work this morning. So there you go, would you believe it? Just took a quick nap for a half hour or so since I last spoke to the camera, and was woken up by an absolutely peeling take on the long rod. I've gone and caught myself my first carp from this new lake. An absolutely beautiful one at that as well. Beautiful. How things can change within literally just a few minutes. As I mentioned when I was holding the fish, I took a nap after updating the camera last time, and it would have been around half an hour or 20 minutes, even if that. I just drifted off to sleep, and yeah, woke up to an absolutely peeling take on the right hand rod, which is fished long towards the reeds on the far bank. It was a really spirited fight as well, to be honest. I mean, I'm fishing at probably 18 and a half wraps out towards that bank. I'm off the left hand side of a bar, so I noticed the bar from being up in the treehouse yesterday, and I wanted one rod in some sort of shallow water. And I'm guessing it's around about 4 feet. So as the sun's come up this morning, they're obviously going over the bar, and with just a light scattering of bait and a single white pop up, I managed to trip one up. I literally can't get over it. I'm so chuffed that I've caught. Had an absolutely horrendous night's sleep last night, and it's all come good this morning. So to bring you up to date, it's around about sort of heading towards 9 o'clock now. The sun has actually dipped over the clouds. It's hidden behind the clouds now, so I don't think it's going to be an easy task to find any fish on the long lake to fish for on the top, just yet anyway. I'm going to be sitting it out just while I'm packing up, see what the weather does. If the sun does creep back out, then I'll give it a go and see if I can nick one off the top before I go to work. So if you hear from me again on this session, it'll either be with another one in my hands, which I'm hoping for. If not, you'll be joining me for a bit of surface fishing and see if I can get one before work. If not, I'll be back next week anyway, so the next diary entry will be next week regardless. So if I don't see you later, I'll see you next week. I'm whispering because a few fish about. I can see them from up in the treehouse. I've seen two real big ones. I think one of them that I've seen think that it's the big fully. Well, unfortunately I couldn't make it happen on this occasion. There was a fair few fish here, but they slowly pushed out of reach, so I went after them. Managed to get right up close to a couple that were taken, but just weren't having it in the end. They've all drifted off now, so it's probably about time for me to drift off as well. Definitely pushed my luck too much today. I've got to get to the office now and get some work done. So I best whip the rods in, head over to work, and finish my day there. So I'll see you next time.